Hi, I'm Andrea Edwards, a digital conversationalist, and for the last 6 months I've had the complete honour and privilege of working with IBM senior executive and sales leaders across Asia Pacific on their personal brand. We're working to define really clearly what everyone's social leadership position should be, because everyone is a social leader today.
One of the standout things for me is this idea of like being your whole self. And I think for a long time people have felt this is my work self and this is my other self. And what's beautiful about this approach is that it is about bringing your whole self. And I really think that's when the magic happens.
Growing personal brand is something which every individual should take that as a responsibility. It helps them, it helps their organizations, it helps their environment as well. I mean, your own personal brand, people will, if it's better, the other people will also love to get connected with you, get related with you, try to understand with you, it helps you in your business as well.
Everyone wants to do well, naturally, in their role, in their global community, within their profession, within their industry. But I think people are quite scared to go online, to say what they think. They think they're going to be judged. However, when you really get to the bottom of it, people just want to get to the cutting edge of experience. So what are you experiencing? How has that benefited you? What did you learn? And then sharing that out. It's simply that. You don't need to be super smart, super sophisticated about it. It's simply about sharing. And the less polished, frankly, the better. So I think once people understand that, they get over this need to be corporate communications, curated type CEO speak. They feel very human, they feel very liberated. The more they engage with authenticity, the more trust they gain, the more community leadership and evidence they gain, which is great for themselves and ultimately great for the company.
I think the hardest part's about getting started. So it's about finding the right small step to take to enable yourself and get started on your digital experience.
Don't give up easily, right? Then you have to be persistent with what you do. Continue to do personal blogging, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
I would say right now the world has changed and social media has much more, power, like pushing us forward to, shifting us from the traditional world to now the new world. So by the way, just check it out, just open your mind.
The greatest career opportunity we have for this time is owning our voice authentically and powerfully on social media.
On how to improve my personal brand, I'm very guilty of what you said, like I share links. But I didn't want to be controversial and put my opinion, so I think that one I will do.
One of the things that I am very good at is sharing experiences with a small audience, my immediate teammates, immediate customers. But I feel that I would do better if I amplify and other people benefit.
The world is changing, the economy is changing, and now I really felt that it's all about people business. And to be honest, I underestimated the power of social networks. I thought it's just a personal thing.
For somebody who's not very socially savvy, I think this has been a great learning experience. I've already got a lot of ideas that I'm going to do, building my personal presence. Yep. That is one. Second thing is, how do I bring it into my role as a channel marketing manager? So to the audience that I cater to, business partners, I see myself doing quite a few things now.
One of the common issues that comes up around building a personal brand is people don't want to contribute to the noise.
If I can get my message out there and people start to actually listen to me as some sort of an industry leader or thought leader in the space, then that's going to help my business and effectively give me free marketing in a sense. So now how you go about doing that, obviously just pushing out the odd bit of IBM collateral. That's social media 101, I guess that's a good place to start. But it tends to be, and I feel the same way, it seems to be a lot of noise in your social media inbox, or when you log into LinkedIn, you scroll through 1 or 2 pages and you close it. And you don't really get, your attention's not drawn to any particular individual or that. So through personalising it and making it more about you than necessarily the company. If you can attract a level of following, a level of interest from outside parties, then when you do post something that's around business and trying to drive people to an event or a particular piece of thought leadership that IBM's created, I think it carries more weight.
And the most important thing I encourage people to do is to get focused on social media. Work out what's your story and what do you want to be known for. This is the place that you start to build a personal brand and to become a truly social leader.
Build up your character and put yourself out there in the tech world.
Yeah, so just go in to the LinkedIn and update your profile, talk with the people, start with blogging, and more importantly, have 500 plus connection.
It's not only for a selected few. I think social media is for all.
In fact, if you're on social media too much, your audience gets overwhelmed by you and they switch off. So my recommendation, if you want to get started, just plan to share 2 really compelling pieces of information a week. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you think your audience is, your customer, or whatever the audience looks like. Twice a week, share great information that your customers are going to value. But remember, whenever you share information, tell people why you're sharing it. They're looking for the gold nuggets of information.
Get out there, be confident, you all have something to say which makes sense for the people.
I've been already writing a blog and I need to sort of make it more organized and more theme focused so that I don't send very confusing message to my audience. So that's where I'm going to focus on and sort of clean it up and make it more focused.
To own your voice on social media is about providing real value to your audience. It's actually not about you. It's about you serving your community, whoever that community is, whether it's a customer, employees, whoever you want to target.
Well, I think it's a really good way to also build a presence online, not just for yourself, but also for the company. It's also a win-win situation. So I think it's a very, very valuable thing.
I think this will help me improve my skills on reaching people where or who they really need. Our help.
Yeah. The other issue that keeps coming up is time. How can they commit time? Well, the first thing is everybody needs to stop doing something that is old and is not serving themselves or the business anymore. The world has changed, the customer has changed. When I speak to salespeople, the one thing they tell me is the customers are more informed than they ever have been before because they're researching and they're finding knowledge long before they speak to a salesperson. 90 to 92% of the sales journey is complete before they come and speak to a brand.
I'm going to make a start. I'm going to make the start that I've been wanting to make for many years, and I think now I have a little bit more confidence to actually have a go. You have to start.
Be authentic, be yourself, believe in what you say.